Okay, we're live. Podcast number 7, Fishing Legends Live. Jason Aker, Mike Seawright, Scott Hamrick. We have 2 special guests tonight. We have Mr. Brian Souza, who owns Biz Baits. He will, in just a little bit, will be telling us about all his products, and he's got some really good ones, trust me. Also, we got Mr. Steve Addington, another Lake Norman hammer, wins a lot of tournaments on Norman. And he also has his own insurance agency. He does some great boat insurance, so he'll be talking about that a little bit. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to go through, we've had a lot of tournaments. There's tournaments right and left right now, all around. So we're going to recap some of our recent tournaments, and we're also going to talk about some upcoming tournaments. And there's also a lot of upcoming tournaments. At that point, we're going to go through and let Brian do his thing. He's going to talk about the Biz Baits. We're going to touch on boat safety tonight for a specific reason that we'll talk about, and basically that's it. So Scott, recent tournaments, you want to start that off?
Well, you had the first one. What did you do at the Big Bass?
Well, Steve fished that also, but anyway, yeah,
Steve fished it,
yeah, the Big Bass tournament on Norman. I fished it 2 days, Friday, and I fished it Sunday. And I had a great day Friday. I caught a big spot. It's 345, I believe it was, and that was on Friday. I caught him early, and I actually had 2. I had like a 277, and I had the 345, and I had estimated it to be around 3. Just looking, I didn't know. I didn't take time to weigh it, and I had thought that my plan was to put 3 good ones in and then maybe go to Queens and weigh one and do that. But I glanced at my phone. I was on the lower end, glanced at my phone and saw that like a 327 was leading. And I thought, mine's close to that. And I had like 15 minutes. I thought, well, I got time to run in. I'm going to run in. This would be a good time to weigh it. Ran in, 4 minutes to go, boom, took the lead. So that took all the pressure off, $1,000 fish. At that point, I talked to Hamrick, and he saw it, congratulated me, and I said, well, I'm going to go catch the big bass of the tournament now. And he said basically,
I said, yeah, whatever.
Whatever. So I go out, and an hour and a half later, boom, I catch it.
We start getting texts and pictures.
The fish weighed 507. It took the lead, and what does he say that afternoon? He said, Seawright, you are the luckiest man, basically, to take a crap between a pair of tennis shoes. Do you remember telling me that?
Did I say that?
Yeah, well, not exactly, but
I remember me and you talking, thinking, we're never going to hear the end of this.
Yeah, maybe I did say that.
Yeah, okay.
We'll never hear the end of this.
And so the man calls me lucky even after I told him what I was going to do.
Well, it's educated luck, though.
Okay, whatever.
That's what I call it, educated luck.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, I had a great day Friday. I couldn't fish Saturday, and I watched, and lo and behold, about 1 o'clock, I started thinking, hey, maybe I'm going to survive another day. But Mr. Dwight Dellinger dropped to 588 on the scales and took the lead. So I'd like to congratulate Dwight. That was a great fish. He won the boat, and he's a great guy and a great fisherman, so congratulations to him. Didn't do as good Sunday. I fished. I had hunted all day. And I just never got that right bite. It just didn't work out. But I had one thing in mind.
Catching a big one.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's not always easy. So
yeah, it's not definitely on Norman.
Yeah,
it's hard to catch it, especially this time of year.
Yeah. Steve, you want to recap? What you did good.
I cut a couple checks, but it wasn't as good as I thought it'd be. I mean, we had a mixture of clouds, rain, and sun, and wind, and everything. If you consider the 2 days that both of us fished.
Yeah.
Caught a bunch of small ones. I'm talking 2 1/4 pounders. You were fishing lower end like I was, which I kind of usually stay down there, and caught a bunch of fish. We both had the same game plan, try to get 3 in the boat. So when you're going to run up, try to make use of your time, stay up there and wait 3 hours in a row. But didn't work out that way for me.
Got to have a lot of gas if you're going to run back and forth.
Yeah, you can't run back and forth all day on that lake. And
the first year they had that thing, they put it in the back of Ramsey, which would have been good for you. But anywhere else in the lake, that's the farthest place you could run.
I cut more checks that year than I have in any tournament up there. So that was a good year. I try to get them to move it back down there, but I've not been
Nah,
successful.
I ain't
so.
gonna do it.
Well,
on
you
the
generally cut a check regardless of where they put in, Steve. I've noticed that.
Well, I thought it was going to be a little bit better than it was, but you can look at the weights and see that we're down. But this time of year, it's just in transition. That's what it's going to be on most lakes you go to. So.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Okay, so what else we had? You fished?
Fished the ABA at Wiley, which was, whew, y'all think Norman's tough. Boy. First day, 11 o'clock, I had 2 fish. I said, man, I got to do something different. So I picked up the wife, your wife's rod.
Yeah.
And ended up catching 12 keepers. So
Well,
I'm like,
you
well,
ought
the
to
next
keep
day, this will be easy.
Yeah.
I'll get me a limit, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna move up if I get a limit the second day because this is tough. I mean, it's really tough down there. I don't know what's happened in that place, but second day, I ended up with 2 fish.
Wow.
I jumped. I had a 4-pounder right at the boat, and come unbuttoned, and I had 2 more just regular keepers. So I could have had 5, and then I would have won if I'd have got 5. But I ended up with 2. So that's pretty bad fishing for me.
Well, let's think about this. Did anybody have a limit in the same day?
I think one person did. 1 or 2 people. No, 2 people had the limit the last day.
Okay. Man, that's tough though.
Only one person had a limit both days.
That's tough. That is tough.
I don't know what. It's just real bad. I mean, and then anyway, I ended up finishing 5th.
You got a good check.
Got $1,000 and something.
You got a good check.
Yeah.
And what'd you
Well, I
finish
got
in the points?
Second in the points.
Hey, you got to be proud of that.
Well,
I mean, I never
they
got
wasn't
to
first
win.
in the points.
Well,
It's a lot easier when you were first in the. I won the points last year. See, so if you win the points, you fish for free the rest of the year.
okay.
The next year. So that makes it a whole lot easier.
Oh,
So it didn't cost
it's
you
the
nothing to
money,
fish.
okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice not having to pay interest fee.
All right.
But
All right.
So then let's see. So we went from there to this weekend. I'm actually fished today at Norman, the Toyota Series, and boy, Norman's tough. I think I had 7 keeper bites all day. Only boated 4 of them. I had 4 for like 8-4. I'm in like 23rd. But I mean, I'm in the game. I mean, if
Absolutely.
I can catch 10 or 11 tomorrow, I'll make the cut. So.
Yep.
But, that's easier said than done at Norman right now. I mean, there's a lot of good fishermen on Norman today that fish Norman all the time that didn't have 2 and 3 fish. So
Yeah. Well, high pressure day. It looks like it may be another
slick
high
as
pressure
glass.
tomorrow.
And, you kind of had an excuse at Wiley because they when we got down there the second day for Wiley, as soon as I got to the ramp, I knew we was in trouble because there was stuff floating. They backed the water up all night. Is what they done, and they just kept backing it up during the day.
Yeah.
Norman, it was it's just a high pressure day, no top water bites, slick, calm.
Yeah.
It's just one of those times that you're not going to bite. And tomorrow's supposed to be another dose of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, we wish you luck. I
Yep.
think you'll probably be good. You've got a lot of history, like Steve,
Well,
on that pond.
if I could just get a limit tomorrow, I'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
But that's, like I said, that ain't so easy right now.
All right. So last week we fished a cat at Wiley. You want to recap that, Jason?
That wasn't last week, was it?
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we fished at CBC.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
okay.
that
It was 2 weeks ago.
We already talked about that.
We have. Well, I wanted you to talk about it because
Well, y'all want to recap it again?
No,
No, we
I
recapped
did.
it.
What did y'all have down there?
One
We had
fish.
one keeper.
Yeah, let's recap that again.
No, we've already talked about
Oh,
that.
these people already know. They already know. That's old news.
Yeah, let's don't.
Okay.
Let's don't beat that dead horse. Let's don't beat
Trying to
that
beat
dead.
something
So-
embarrassing. Lord have mercy. That was awful.
All right. Okay.
I'm trying
So
to forget that.
okay. So upcoming tournaments. Well, here we go. Cat final at Wiley.
This weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah, y'all fishing it?
Are we?
Well, we practiced. How'd that go?
It didn't go
I
well.
think you're ready to get a dose of that down there.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I've had my fill of Wiley for a while, but
You better take your wife's
Well,
rod, which is all I can
Hey,
tell you.
Well, we may have to.
yeah.
I mean,
we don't
sometimes
typically do
you
that.
have to go to light line. I mean,
know.
that's what I had to do at Norman today. I had to go to light line and end up letting 2 break me off. Because
Hey.
if you catch them on docks on light line, if you don't get them out, they go under. You're gone. They'll break
Yep.
you off. No
Well, you're
problem.
talking to 2 guys that like 20
We-
pound
well,
line
we like
power
power
fish.
He's getting a little sissy in his old age. He'll probably pick that spinning
Well,
rod up.
I'll be honest. I'm getting tired of catching one fish.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So we got the cat final this weekend. What
Yep.
else we got?
What else we got?
We have
The BBC on Murray. Big Bass.
Big Bass Classic in Murray. Yeah,
Right.
Mike's wanting to go fish that, but I don't think y'all gonna be. Your dad's a little sick, so you don't want to leave home. I guess.
Yeah, we may end up staying around.
So then we got the BFL Regional next week. We'll be leaving probably Sunday or Saturday for that. So as soon as I finish with this, would you like to drive me up there?
Drive you
I
up
need a
where?
driver.
Where's James River?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Virginia.
Virginia. 6 hours?
I think so, right?
Somewhere around there.
6
yeah.
hours.
That wouldn't be bad for you.
You know how many fish I can catch in 6 hours around here?
One apparently.
They asked you to come pick you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on the other side of Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we have a benefit tournament coming up at Norman for the let's see, let me look this thing up so I can be more familiar with it to tell y'all exactly what it is.
Yes, that charity tournament.
It's the charity tournament.
Heat Bass Classic,
It's the Heat Bass Classic,
October 17th, out of
and
Pinnacle.
it's
10th.
no, it's the 17th, right? Hold up,
It's the 10th, because I'm going to be at.
no, it's October 17th, right here. I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's the Heat Bass Classic. It's October 17th.
You get
Norman
the
out
fish
of,
instead.
I will get fish.
out of Pinnacle. It's $100 entry fee, $50 side pot, and they're gonna have raffles and giveaways. They're gonna have special prizes for top father and son or daughter team. Hey, man, you can go as father son.
I mean, will they really believe you're my father? I mean, we can try.
Okay, but anyway, proceed and it's for a good cause. It's for the fishing team and they're I mean not the fishing, their baseball team, and they're
Okay.
taking them to Cooperstown, so they're trying to
Okay.
raise money for that. So y'all get out and support that.
That'd be good.
That's out of Pinnacle, like I said, October 17th. And what else did we have? Did we write anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it for the
That's it.
tournaments.
Okay. All right, good. All right, we'll go with Biz Baits.
Here
Like
we
I
go.
said, we had Brian Souza. Brian, we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate being here.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm excited to see this. I knew you had some good baits, but seeing what you brought tonight, have at it, brother.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. I just wanted to walk through, talk about a little bit about it. If guys have questions, feel free to fire away at them, as well as you guys. We can kind of go back and forth on
Okay.
it. But so yeah, Biz Baits. My name's Brian. We are for a few years we made baits out of Denver tackle, or what was Dry Pond before that, on the Denver side of Norman, and just recently moved to our a location closer to my place, as well as our packaging company in Concord. So we're still kind of getting situated there. But been making baits for, man, we were talking about this earlier, 10 years or so,
Right.
9 years.
What got you into making the baits?
It's a crazy, so I'm originally from Illinois. So in the winter, unlike here, you can't go have fun and catch fish on a rig or anything. I mean, everything's frozen over. So one year, I just started doing it for fun. I was actually going to community college. This was back in 08. So I had left a private school in college as a freshman. 08 hit, my parents were like, hey, things aren't happening, so you're not going to school next year. So I went to community college locally, started messing with baits and still continuing education, and met a guy at a trade show that was like, I make my own baits. And I was like, oh, how do you do that? Because I started, sparked my interest on that. And so he pointed me in the right direction on some forums to get started, like many guys still do. And bought a couple molds, got some plastic, and messed with single cavity molds in the basement, and just kind of one thing to the next. A couple buddies were like, oh, these are cool, let me get a couple. And never, ever started with the intention of making it into a business.
All the way into a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah, and now that's
Multi
what you
what?
know.
Oh, well,
I don't know if it's that, but yeah.
hopefully one day.
I know. Hey, that's the goal.
I mean, I've used your stuff and I've watched you make it. Guys, this stuff is quality.
I appreciate it.
He doesn't not let anything go out that it is not perfect. He's a perfectionist. I've watched him. He throws, I like to go in there and scrape in the scraps that he pulls out
Yeah.
because they're not perfect.
Yeah.
Are you paying him for it?
Well,
He's like, you're going to throw those out, right?
Boy, I'll tell you.
No, he's right though. There's a lot of baits that definitely don't pass quality. We have friends like him that'll come by and snag some up. We donate a lot of them. We do donate a lot of them to like certain charity events and stuff. They're like, hey, you got anything that could help us out? So we give them away that way. And then some of them, unfortunately, do find the bottom of a trash can.
Okay.
Only because like there's just every company has waste, right? Any industry you're in, like you're gonna have some waste, and that's kind of the name of the game. But we've gotten everything tuned in now that we make some pretty quality stuff. We don't have a lot of waste most of the time. Some days are better than others, but We've definitely tried to trim that down. Even transition packs now have been super popular, and I can kind of walk through what that is. That's what even we brought here today. So like, let's say we're making plum and we want to change to June bug, okay? When you're in that heat exchanger with our machine that we have now, there's no way to clean out that heat exchanger other than to push the next color through. So you'll have plum, and then you'll have June bug coming behind it, and for about 5 shots, which will come on like a strand like this, for about 5 shots, you're going to get plum June bug, right?
And sometimes it's a pretty cool color.
A lot of times it's really cool.
I
So,
was going to say that.
Yeah.
I bet that is pretty
so
cool.
you'll get
Don't
like,
give him your address.
yeah.
He'll be over there.
So you'll get like 80% plum, 20% June bug, right? The next shot will be like a 50-50, and the next shot will be mostly June bug, a little plum, until the June bug is finally there.
Okay.
And once it's there, then we're running, like we're making good
Yeah.
June bug.
Yeah.
That's just an example. That's what we call a transition pack. We do have them on our site now, and guys have enjoyed them. And we do them 3-pack for $9.99. It's kind of like a grab bag type thing. We can't guarantee what color you're getting,
Yeah.
but we don't put it into a pack if we don't think it looks cool. Like,
Okay.
we're not going to put garbage into a pack for 'em.
Right.
So there's just like a lot of unique transition stuff to try to save on that waste like
Right.
we were talking
Yeah.
about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But going back, I know we kind of jumped around to the story of BizBait. So we moved here. My wife and I moved here 5 years ago. We didn't know a single person. We just were like, we're out of Illinois. We'd like to have some better weather and some better fishing. And I said, as long as we're near a lake, and there was Norman and Wiley, and I was like, let's do it. So it was her and I, didn't know a soul, and I was making baits in a 2-bedroom apartment in Cornelius, right next to what was the Rusty Rudder, and. I was using 1 bedroom to make plastic, and it looked like we were cooking meth. I mean, we had, if you guys have seen Breaking Bad or something, it looked just like that. So we had overhead shop lights in 1 bedroom, and from the outside at night, you're like, what is that guy doing? We have a fan with the exhaust going out. I mean, seriously, because I didn't know anyone. I'm like, I got to keep making baits somehow.
You didn't get any visits?
Yeah, exactly. And I had met Shane LaHue, now a good friend, that at the Bassmaster Classic the year before. It was, I think, on Hartwell or Gunnersville, one of the two. And I introduced myself and was like, hey, I'm thinking of coming to Norman. We're the same age. Kind of creepy at the time, but I was like, hey, man, like I saw he fished college, so did I.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other up until that moment, but once I moved here, we became good friends, and that's when, after the first year of making baits in the 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, he was talking about his dad, Troy, and how he had a space on the Denver side of Norman. And that's kind of how all that progressed into moving BizBaits out of a bedroom, basically, when we got here.
Okay.
So now you've moved out of Troy's to even a bigger place now.
Correct. Yeah, we definitely were busting at the seams in Denver, and so we moved to a little bit bigger place over in the Concord side of things. So yeah, that's been good. And in terms of Concord too, what's nice is we also work, this is kind of a cool part of BizBaits a lot of people don't know about. So a lot of these baits, and you guys saw today when we brought them, how they're like laying in here. There's 5 one way, 5 the other way. Or like if you see these baby biz bugs, see how all those appendages are laying in there? I mean, they're not just thrown in a bag. Like I call it packaged with a purpose. So we work with a company in Concord that works with people with special needs and disabilities.
Okay.
And so
That's cool.
one of the guys who helps run that place, his name's Skip Craft. He fishes BFLs and stuff locally, ABA and stuff. So I got up with him back when I first moved here and was like, I really need help with packaging, because making the baits take a long time, but getting them in a bag like this takes
Straight
just as
and
long.
neat,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, you can throw 5-10 worms in a bag and they're all going to be kinked up.
Yeah.
But if you want all your crawls and appendages to come out the way we want them to,
Right.
I mean, this takes a while. So
Yeah.
we've now evolved that process. So cool. I mean, if you think you're having a bad day, you just need to go there for a day and walk out and realize like life's okay. You know,
Okay.
That's right.
Some amazing people there. I walk in like, hey, Brian, and they're excited to see you. It's a really, really cool place.
Yeah.
But they can package up to, if we can supply them with the bait now, 500 bags of bait a day.
Really?
Wow.
Which is like, if you think of pieces, 500 times 10, you're looking at, what is that, 5,000 pieces
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
And so they like lay them out, and each of them, like if you guys have Ned Dizzies that are watching, tails are going one way. They're packaged with a purpose. So it's a really cool part of BizBaits that I don't normally get to talk about, but
Right.
it's a really cool thing happening in Concord. They are a blessing, and we wouldn't be half of where we're at as biz baits without them. That's for sure.
Or you'd be a lot tireder anyway.
I'd be a lot tired tonight, and my wife would still.
Your
be-
wife, you probably
Yeah.
would have your wife doing it with you.
Yeah, the amount of candles we've had to buy has gone down since we moved that process
I
out.
bet
But
so. I
our
bet
apartment in Cornelius smelled like garlic to no end. That's for sure.
Yeah.
People
So-
think y'all is eating a spaghetti every night.
Yep.
Yeah.
With
Spaghetti.
garlic bread.
There's a lot
Rotten,
of
rotten
times.
spaghetti, maybe. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed too. A lot of times if a bait's not packaged right, like even
it'll mess it up.
A Zoom chunk, if one of the legs is put in the package bent,
Yeah.
you take it out. If it's been
still
in there a
bent.
while,
It's
it's
still
bent.
bent.
Yeah, and it won't
I-
swim
yeah.
right.
Yeah. I mean that makes sense
no.
the way you package them.
Yeah.
And that's fishermen
It
appreciate
drives me insane. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's me being a little, like Scott was saying, a little bit of a perfectionist, but
But
it drives me nuts.
That's
Yeah.
that's a cool
Sure.
thing you guys do.
Yeah.
So you want to go through some of your
Yeah,
products with
yeah,
us and
absolutely.
show us?
We can definitely do
They
it
look great.
briefly. Here on the side actually is what your we call plastisol. The plastic looks like. So your rubber worm or your cutter crawl or whatever starts out just like this milky, nasty substance. You heat this up to roughly 350 degrees, and it's going to go through a gel phase and then go back to liquid. And once you've done that, it'll be crystal clear. Now you can burn it, and it'll get yellow and things like that. You ever had like white flukes or something, and they get real yellow?
Yeah.
That can
Yeah.
be due to like burning and heat stabilizer in the baits.
Okay.
But too much information there. But this is what plastisol looks like to turn a worm into this.
Okay.
So it'll be clear once it's cooked, and then you add your pigments and all your glitter, and we have all the recipes to try to keep everything as consistent as we can. Bait wise, I'd say number one bait probably moving out of Norman would be our Dizzy Diamond. It's a 6-inch finesse worm with a kind of a bulbous tail. Yeah, you can
Just
show
a
them
little.
if you'd like. Yeah.
Yeah.
That little guy's caught a ton of fish for Norman. The Dizzy, that little tail has a ton of action.
Yeah, what people don't realize is, well, he's showing it now, but I'll kind of demonstrate. What people don't realize is this bait here, when you put it on the head, it comes down, it stands up like that right there.
Yeah.
The back kind of floats up, and I mean that's a lot on the Ned Dizzy too. It bounces across the bottom, and it does like
It
this.
stands up.
Now
Most
your-
baits are gonna do this.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
bait's gonna do this.
Now is your material is the material different
It
from
is.
other plastics to get that buoyancy?
It is, absolutely. So we have a custom blend that we've worked with in a supplier that comes out of Missouri. We've worked a long time on getting that right. So for things to float underwater, you just have to be lighter than water. That sounds silly, but like that's really what it is. The density of water is 8.32, and it's either your material is lighter than that or heavier. And even if it's 100th of that decimal off, I mean, it's just going to sink or float. That's how oil and water are.
Okay.
And so we've worked hard to not only get it to stand up, but also, if you see on our packaging, what we do is we salt baits and we scent them. But the thing that gets baits tricky with salt is salt sinks baits. I mean,
Yeah.
salt
It
is a
adds-
rock,
it
right?
adds,
That's
yeah.
why a Senko is a great bait. It's loaded with salt, it has really good weight, and it falls.
It falls and wiggles, yeah.
Exactly. So outside of a stick bait, because ours will do that as well. That's the only one that won't stand up, because a good stick bait needs a lot of salt. This thing's 25% salt. But outside of the stick bait, all the other baits like we were talking about, they'll stand up. But what we've worked on is being able to implement salt and then still maintain that buoyancy, which has been really fun, but also a challenge for sure. So a lot of your salted baits will sink, or if they're not salted, they'll stand up, but then you don't have the benefit of salt, which to me, I think a bait, there's a lot of opinions. I think fish hold on to a bait a little bit longer that are scented and salted.
Okay.
You get more bites, the argument will be made till the next century. But I think that when a fish picks up your bait with scent and salt, you just have a little bit longer time to set that hook than one that's not salted and
Exactly.
scented. I think if you have a bait that's not salted, you will feel it in texture too. I know it sounds silly, but you'll pick it up.
Oh, you can definitely.
And it
tell.
feels plasticky,
Yeah.
where salt gives it like texture.
Yeah.
So I say taste and texture. We'll never fully know. I know Berkeley's tried to prove it in many different ways, but I'm all about just putting the best.
It's whatever you got confidence. If
Yeah.
you got confidence that salt's working,
Exactly.
fisherman's gonna have to have that salt.
Exactly.
right.
So we try to implement salt and scent, and then maintain that buoyancy, which is kind of unique in itself.
Right.
But yeah, bait wise, we were talking about the Dizzy Diamond. It's been an awesome finesse worm. You can drop shot it, Nico rig it. It's most popular on a shaky head. The next best, or most popular, I should say, is that cutter crawl. If you like a swimming action style crawl,
Good for a chatterbait.
chatterbait, flipping a jig or swimming a white jig, all those things we like to do around here. We've worked real hard, like we showed you that video earlier of that arm, and we have it on YouTube and stuff, but those arms just kick super effortlessly. We get told a lot, like, hey, that thing looks just like a speed crawl, but when you get it underwater, you'll see like how
It's got a lot more action
these
than a speed
arms
crawl.
these arms
Yeah.
kick like crazy, and a speed
I'll
crawl
add that, I'll
is a
show
great bait.
Yeah,
We just wanted it to swim like crazy.
And you showed us that video, and you're right. That was incredible how
Yeah.
those arms were moving. That's
Yeah.
incredible. People should go to YouTube and see that.
Yeah,
they
they
really
need
should.
to go to. Y'all need to go to YouTube and look up Biz Baits on there and look at some of these videos.
Yeah.
And you'll
Yeah.
see he's got like tanks of water, and you'll see how the bait sits up from the bottom and how the action is underwater.
Yeah.
It's
a big.
impressive
It's
to
big.
look
It
at.
really is. He showed it to us, and it's.
Yeah, it's
And I mean, I already knew all that, but Mike,
I didn't know all
I know,
that.
but now he's gonna be your best friend.
He's like, what's your address again?
Yeah, you can just write it down.
You're going
Yeah.
to get us some knockoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want some of the different colors.
Exactly. Transitions are
Yeah.
fun to dig through, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other baits we have that we kind of evolved from our Dizzy Diamond because it was so popular, we went one stage bigger to a Magnum worm. So a lot of guys, Wiley, High Rock is
Yeah,
awesome.
black one at High Rocks.
Yeah, a couple guys, Lineberger, for example, came through the shop one time, and I was actually prototyping this, and he had pushed me to, work on getting it out there. He's like, guys on High Rock and places that like to throw them, mag worm, this would be great for. So same plastic, same tail, obviously beefier body to
Yeah.
do that type of stuff with. And then the next year, which was early this spring at the Classic, we downsized because like the Ned got so popular, and you really do need to have a Ned bait in your lineup. We went down with the Ned, or with the Dizzy, and came out with our Ned Dizzy, which put that same kind of signature tail on a bait. But you can see as I just hold this, like that tail just wants to dance around and move. And same thing, just wanted to offer a bait in that category that's a little bit different, has a little tail on it, and that's when one on Norman.
Show him the Ned Dizzy over there.
I was gonna say, you throw it a little bit?
Oh yeah, I like it. I like that Ned Dizzy.
I've caught them.
I've had Mike out there throwing.
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, we've
That's
caught them
awesome.
on it. We've caught them on it. It works. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that Ned Dizzy's been a good one. And the thing about the Ned Dizzy is like anyone can get into fishing, tie that thing up, and catch fish.
That's right.
Right.
It's a great bait.
Thank you, Jason.
I know Troy over there at Denver Tackle, when we were next to him. Guys come in, or any of the stores, locally. People come in with their son or something. They're like, "Hey, what do I need to throw on Norman to catch a fish?" And it's like a wacky rig, a shaky head, but you really got to still set the hook on a shaky head. Like a kid's kind of like, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
But I mean, you just give him a pack of Ned rig hooks and a couple of these, and like he'll accidentally set the hook, and so you can just go catch fish and get
I
into
like your
bass
little
fishing.
Is it 4-inch Cinco?
Yep. Yeah, we do a
Man,
4-inch.
that thing.
That works too. We caught them on that.
Oh
too.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it like April. You'll go out and catch 100 a day on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when I have to come give you some transition color.
Well, you're not going to be the only
No,
one
you're
going
not
through
allowed.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
transition.
And
transition.
a little secret on Norman, that baby bass color is the money for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like a muted watermelon with a little bit of small silver and gold flake in it. I've seen a couple other companies now starting to come out with baby bass and a stick style bait, but
Right.
that color on Norman is awesome. For
Right.
sure.
But you got some great looking baits.
Thank
And I
you.
love the action on them. It's really, really impressive to
Thank
watch.
you.
Really is.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do have to say to everyone watching and yourselves as well, being able to be on here, like I said earlier in the story with Biz Baits, is like we came here and knew not a soul, other than maybe reaching out to Shane LaHue coldly at the Classic,
Right.
and now we're friends. But
Right.
like a few years ago,
Right.
Biz Baits, no one here knew the word Biz Baits,
Well,
and like the community has really taken hold of the baits, and we're just going to keep trying to make awesome baits for you guys.
Well, how I look at it is if you make a quality product, people's going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially fishermen.
Yeah.
If it's something they know they can catch a fish on,
Yeah.
they got to have it.
Yeah.
So how did you?
People-
Go
ahead, I'm sorry.
How did you come up with the name Biz Baits?
Man, I get asked that a lot, and I wish I had a cool story. Back when I was back at the community college we talked about years ago, I had to do a marketing project of a fictitious business that you would own. And again, at the time, this was not to own. It was just a fictitious thing to get a marketing project done. And I thought about it back then, like what would be a bait company? And I was going through like net bait. I'm like, net bait? That doesn't make any sense. Right? Back then, the pocket crawl was a huge bait.
Yeah.
Strike King, Zoom, like I don't know what that means. And I'm like, none of this makes sense. Like what?
Right.
I didn't want to do something more cliche, like Brian, like maybe Brian's Baits or something. Like you hear a lot of that, and that's great. Like but I'm like, what could maybe potentially be a brand name down the road?
Sure.
I don't know why I got with Biz. Some people could confuse it with Buzz, like Buzz Baits. I'm like, no, Biz Baits.
I think you come up with a great
I do
name.
too.
I mean, it
So-
stands
Yeah, it's
out.
catchy.
And it's
It is.
catchy.
It is catchy.
And you
Cool.
got a real good packaging.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Back then, like I said, it's funny that it was not with the intention of turning it into something. And as the years went on, I'm like, man, maybe we need to do something. We got on the Tackle Warehouse when we were in that apartment in Cornelius, and we were still shooting single cavity molds. I mean, still, like, I know some
Oh,
people
man.
watching right now probably make baits, jigs, or
So this
soft
is how
baits.
many one shot comes
Now.
out. This is what
That's
comes
one
out.
shot.
That's our Mag Dizzy shot.
And how long does this take to make?
About once the machine is heated up and ready to go and formulated, about 1 minute and 30 seconds.
So you can really make a lot of. And before it was one at a time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's 26 worms.
And you were on Tackle Warehouse at that time?
Yeah, so we got on
Man.
Tackle Warehouse when they had the Classic in Tulsa many years back, 6 or 7 years back now. I remember getting the email from Tackle Warehouse with a purchase order at the Classic. I was like,
Wow.
holy crap,
I'm big time.
we're going to go Tackle Warehouse, right?
Yeah.
Which is really
I feel you're
anything.
really like, holy crap.
Yeah.
We're gonna make them one at a time.
Yeah.
It's like any
I got to do something.
Yeah, any bait maker's dream. If you make any bait, jig, spinner bait, plastics. I mean, one of the epitomes, right? Bass Pro possibly, but like getting a purchase order from Tackle Warehouse is like
That's,
it's up
that's
there.
the holy grail for
And so
a
that's-
bait maker.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bigger and better.
So I go back to the apartment in Cornelius, and I'm like, 1, and then 2, and you got to do 8 to make 1 pack, And so I can't. Looking back,
imagine that.
How
it's
did
hard
you
to
do that?
I don't know. That's what I was gonna say. Is like looking back, I
So
don't know.
So when
how
did you
I did it.
when did you find out that you could buy this machine that would make so many at a time?
So I talked to our mold supplier, which is the same mold company we use to this day, which has been cool to have that relationship. They're out of Louisiana. It's all made here. I talked to them like, I got to move quicker. And so we invested in when we moved with Troy and Denver, we'd gotten like these little gallon pots, and some people will be familiar with it, and it mixes your plastic and heats it. And then you still got to pull it out and inject it and shoot it into molds at that time that shot 8 at a time. And back then I thought we were like running with them, and I had a guy, Will Hearn, locally
Yeah.
that was
Oh, yeah.
helping, and it was tremendous help to get this to where it's at too. And he was standing next to me, opening molds, and I'm sitting there with the hot injector and shooting more. And that's how baits were made for like 2 years. Even when we were in dry pond, that's how it was made. And then I'm like, we're getting whooped.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way you can do that.
Yeah.
No.
And so we got this small production machine. There's one more step to be true mass production, but we have like a mini scale of that now. And that's when I had to talk to him again. But the molds are the biggest thing. Being cut out of aluminum, that's the biggest hurdle in price, is just getting all your molds made
Sure,
to fit the
sure.
machine.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, it's been quite a ride. And like I said, the support.
Well, you
locally
make
has
an
been
awesome bait, no
You do.
doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm not just sucking up to you because I get the transition colors, but
It's just the truth.
well,
It's the truth.
it
The truth
is.
hurts.
Well, Courtney, do you have any questions?
Lots of
Somebody
comments.
asked, where all can you get the biz baits at?
Yeah, so you can, one place if you're not local, because depending on where they're at, you can always go to bizbaits.com. We talked about Tackle Warehouse, but if you are local, we're in most local shops. So I don't want to leave anyone out, but the Great Outdoors, obviously Denver Tackle, Rusty Hooks, Fleming Candy, Coyote Fishing Tackle right around here with David Clanton. When you start getting out to baiting, there's like Bait on 8. There's Joe's Bait and Tackle. There's Diggs Fishing. Rock Outdoors in Lexington. I feel bad. I don't want to forget.
And they can order it off a line on your
Correct.
bizbaits.com.
Yeah.
So you're in most local.
within
shops.
Lake Norman area and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
if you go into a local stop, not big box, they'll have some.
What
spread
about
of those
Tackle
baits.
Warehouse?
Tackle Warehouse will have.
So you
yeah.
on Tackle Warehouse.
That's
There
cool.
you go.
That's cool.
TackleWarehouse.com,
Yep.
bizbaits.com.
And if they're in this area, basically the surrounding local stores.
This guy lives in Central Illinois, is that asked.
Central Illinois.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I went Illinois State, Bloomington, Illinois. I don't know if that's where he's at, but if he is, there you go. That's where I went to college. I finished up at Illinois State. But at Central Illinois, yeah, there won't be any stores. So your best bet's gonna be Tackle Warehouse or direct. And we're shipping orders every single day. So if we get an order before noon, it's going out that day.
Well, I think if any of y'all want to order some of this stuff and try it, you'll be satisfied. I mean, we're not gonna have nobody on here that's selling junk. I mean, this is quality stuff, and we use it. So
Yeah, and what a neat story. You got a neat story.
Thank
you really
you.
do. And,
I appreciate it.
You're successful for a reason. It's,
Thank
especially after you come in here and listening to you. You're successful for a reason.
Well, thank you.
You're always welcome back. I'm certain you're gonna have some new products
and you give it
coming
and you
out.
give back
So,
to the community with
Yep.
letting the
Yep.
the kids do
Absolutely.
your
Absolutely.
packaging and
Yeah.
all that. Man, that is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's
It
all it's been a blast, man. It's
Yeah.
been a blessing, and like I said, guys, like all of you here and in the local Lake Norman community supporting BizBait. I mean, you got a lot of options to buy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of companies.
Oh, yeah.
So as long as you guys love our bait and we can keep making a quality product, we're
Yep.
gonna keep trying to come out with new stuff. And
Right.
we have some really fun stuff coming up. Not to leave a teaser, but there's some really fun stuff we're working on that's
Okay.
gonna hopefully be a lot of fun to release here soon. So
Well, hopefully you'll come back.
Yeah,
when
I'd
you
love to.
release that.
That'd be
and
great.
Show it to us.
Absolutely.
I'd
Okay.
love to.
And we're giving away some of your
Yeah.
baits tonight.
Yeah.
We'll be giving some.
Talk
Yep.
about it.
We have to talk about that yet.
Okay.
Well, we'll talk about giveaway. Let's talk to Steve for a little bit. Steve's a guest.
Well, she needs to talk about the giveaway first,
Okay.
and then we'll talk
Okay.
to Steve.
All right.
Cool.
Okay, so what are we gonna give away tonight? You gonna give away?
Yeah, so I brought 8 packs of BizBaits. So if you want to do 2 winners, will get 4 packs each. And
Okay.
if we get their name and address and you can get it to me, we'll ship it out tomorrow for 'em.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What we gonna give this away?
The 3 baits that's right there on the
Okay,
screen.
Ned. It's a Bass of the South. Ned Head.
There's your net
probably
head for the Biz Baits.
5 in
Yeah.
here.
Yep,
That'll
5
pair up
in there.
nicely.
5 or
And we
6.
got a Shane's bait, spinner bait, half-ounce spinner bait.
in the gold color.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
looks like a gold shiner. Looks like it has 2 gold blades. I think is that 2 gold?
Yep, 2 gold
I
blades.
think so.
2 gold Willie
Yep.
blades, and then we got a Shane's bait, mini blades of glory.
Okay.
A-rig.
Cool. So we got a lot of giveaways. So
we've
what do they have to
got
do?
5 giveaways total, and all you have to do is you have to either be currently subscribed to YouTube or go subscribe to YouTube and share the live video to all of your friends. And once you've done that, comment done, and your name will be entered into the giveaway.
And you'll be able to see that. And I guess we'll spin the wheel like we normally do.
We'll do the random number generator.
Okay.
again.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Cool. Okay. And we'll do
So
that.
5 giveaways total tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
All right, local legend Steve
All right, here we
Addington. Let's
go,
see what
buddy.
he's got to say.
What you up to?
Well, working most of the time, but I do get to fish on the weekends, so
You have a job?
I do have a job. And I think that's the reason why I don't get to fish as much as I like to. But you know, I guess work hard now, fish hard later. So that's the way I look at it. I do sell insurance. I've got a nationwide office in Dallas, North Carolina. My dad started it years and years ago. I was fortunate to follow in his footsteps. He retired in 98, which I'd already been there for roughly 16, 18 years. So that just gives you an idea how old I am and how long I've been in the business. I do a lot of boat insurance. I got a lot of local fishermen insured. You know, a lot of them. I've seen posts on different websites where people ask about boat insurance, and I've got very fortunate that I've got a lot of good bass fishermen in this area insured, and a lot of them over the years have unfortunately had a claim, but they've had good experience with me, and
I've heard of
noticed
good
that-
experiences.
Yeah, and
I
I
have
and I
too.
notice a lot of them. They definitely jump in there and refer a lot of business to me, and so I work hard to try to keep my clients happy, and you know that's part of any business that you have, and
Well, you fish with that Beatty boy.
yeah, I've been known to fish with a couple people. Not
That's
many. Scott
you got a
Bailey-
bad. That gives you a bad name fishing with that Beatty
Really?
boy.
Well, you know, Scott's they broke the mold when they made Scott, and I think the fishing with him, you take a quarter of what he says, and that'll be right, and then the other 3/4, he kind of stretches it out a little bit.
I think he believes it himself sometimes.
He's good at that.
We're gonna probably get him on one night because I bet he's got some good stories to tell.
Yeah,
I bet
he
so.
definitely does. I get to listen to a lot of those stories.
Yeah.
They probably grow as the older he gets, the better the stories get.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
I got a good story I can tell on Steve.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
We was fishing the Monday nighters one night, and he thought his Triton would outrun my Triton. So we got in a little boat race, and I'm going down through there, and I glanced over, and he's right beside him, and it kind of startled me when it did that. I kind of jerked the wood out of there, and when I did that, you guess what happened,
He
Mike?
probably went around you.
No, it soaked him from head to toe. So I get to my first stop, and my phone rings. It's Steve. He says, "I'm kicking your butt when we get back." I said, "Steve, now you know I didn't do that on purpose." Because it kind of started me, and I turned the wheel like when I done that. It just he was mad, but he got over it.
He didn't trim it up and turn the wheel, did he?
I think he did.
He probably did.
I saw him smile right before he turned.
No, I wouldn't.
Man.
I wouldn't have done. See, you thought that. I wouldn't have done
I'll tell you
that.
what was really bad is, unfortunately, I had my speedometer I had a hole in it or something, and water was flying up from underneath my console, hitting me in the face. So I couldn't really get on the gas, and then when I let off, Scott caught me, and he did pass me because I wasn't in it. But
He wasn't in it.
But he did shower down on me, and
He wasn't in it.
it took me a little bit, but I cooled down.
I told Chuck, I said, my boat racing days is over.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So what you got coming up, Steve? What tournaments you got coming up?
Next week, I'm going to leave midweek next week and go to Danridge, Tennessee. The big bass is going to be on Lake Douglas.
That'd be fun.
It's a good lake. Actually, every year I go, I see more and more local fishermen come out there and fish it, which the big bass tour is getting that way. A lot of guys like it's a good format. You can win a lot of money, and
Boy, I wish I would have come up with that idea.
I know. I'm feeling it.
That thing's.
I wonder how many
taking
people
off.
they had at Norman. I mean, there was
They had
boats,
like 500.
500.
It was
inches.
down. Actually,
They had
usually
500 entries.
That's
in
crazy,
At
man.
Norman.
Usually they get more than that. It's down a little bit with the coronavirus.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things.
It's crazy how they draw. It's crazy.
But
Well, that
cool.
has to be on the big
Just
lake.
think, Mike, you had the biggest fish one day out of 500 people.
I mean, does that surprise you, Scott?
You're a legend.
You're not shocked or surprised?
No, I'm not shocked.
Okay.
I was pulling for you to win the boat because I figured you may take me out to dinner or something.
I probably would have anyway. You already know that.
Well, yeah.
I was stooping that tournament because somebody did make an offer to split their winnings, and I declined.
It wasn't this old man over here,
I'm
was it?
afraid it was.
Yeah.
Wow, you cost yourself some money.
Well, my wife is just now talking to me again, and so I learned a lesson that day.
I tried to get him to split the money and he wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Well,
But he likes me.
he
a
was
little bit
actually
better.
fishing.
Oh.
He was actually on the lake.
You had to fish?
You got to
there.
fish to get half the money.
Well, they wouldn't let me fish, so I couldn't fish. I had to be at Wiley anyway.
Yeah.
Mike, Jason Land said you're a true legend.
Jason said
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
Tell Jason Land I hadn't forgotten him either. And we're gonna have our little. We're gonna have to fish against somebody sometime. Aren't we?
Sometime.
What are we going to do?
I guess.
I mean,
As long as it ain't at Wiley anytime soon.
I don't want to tell Jason Land I don't want to fish at Wiley,
Well,
and I don't want to fish at Baden against him either.
And you're actually stupid enough to go down there this weekend. What's wrong with you?
Let's go to High Rock.
We need to go somewhere else. We need to go
Pass
somewhere
on
else. Golly, it's terrible right now at Wiley. Terrible.
Yeah.
We
Well,
talked
it's
about
terrible in a lot of places right
Yeah.
now.
So what else we talking about, Mike?
All right, let's hit on something real quick. Boat safety, and the reason I'm saying this, I don't know how many people has been up to, was it Great Outdoors and saw Don Petite's boat, but him and his wife was fishing a tournament on Lake Kiowee.
I think they were practicing maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was pouring down rain. She was in the bottom of the boat. He was running into a creek, hit a rock seam. I assume hit a rock. The motor came off of the boat somehow. And
Into the boat.
Into the
Still
boat.
running.
Came off the boat, landed probably an inch or so behind Don's head, and it was still running. If his wife had been in the passenger seat,
Yeah, he had to cut it off with the key.
Luckily,
Because it was laying in
he
the back
said.
deck.
Luckily, he said it was raining so hard. He told her just to get in the floorboard. So luckily, she
Yeah.
wasn't sitting in the seat.
yeah. But I just wanted to. I mean, that had an impact on me. I walked around and I looked at that, and I
Yeah, I
thought
looked at
about
the boat. It
that.
was bad.
And I can't get that.
You know, that's
image.
happened a lot lately.
It has
I've
happened.
heard of several stories in the past year where motors have come up actually in the boat.
It happened in the Federation one time. We was at down at Georgetown.
Yeah.
Actually, the director, the North Carolina director, the head guy, Chuck Murray, he drew a guy from Tennessee. And guy was flat out, and he hit something, and it knocked the motor off. It was a Triton, and it knocked the motor off, and the motor jumped up in the boat. And instead of the guy cutting it off, it freaked him out. He pushed he floorboarded it, and it was just wide open, and he reached over and jerked the
Yeah.
pull cord. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's dangerous.
It's
guys.
dangerous, and we're not bringing this up, as a slam to Don Petit.
No,
at
he
all.
did nothing wrong.
He didn't
No,
do
it's
anything
just a
wrong.
reminder.
It's just a reminder to a couple reminders, I guess.
Especially you get to a lake that they've really dropped the water down. You're not that there's places you've probably run across
Even-
that with the
even
water
like-
down you can't run across.
Even
Exactly.
lakes that you fish all the time.
That's what happened to him. Is what he said that it's a place he'd been running across, and they dropped the water down overnight, and
Yep.
he has never been there that low, and he didn't never know what was going to do,
Right.
and he hit the rock. And
So that's a good point. Watch the water level. Be
Gotta watch.
aware.
Yeah,
Be
yeah,
aware
that's
of
right.
what's happening with these lakes, because especially lately, with with some of the rains and all, these lakes are constantly.
and you should
coming
always
back
have
down.
your life jacket and your kill
You
switch.
see me,
Absolutely.
every time I don't care if I'm by myself or what, and I usually pill around, right up on pad and just cruise around when I'm fishing by myself.
I just don't run wide open every
And
day.
I've always got my kill switch. I leave,
Yeah.
throw my
That's
jacket off, lay it in the. And
That's another good reason for a kill switch, guys. You think, it's for if it throw you out the boat, it'll cut off.
It'll cut
well,
off.
but also if you hit something, motor jump up in the boat, you can jerk the kill switch, and you ain't
That's
got to
right.
be hunting for the button
That's
over there.
right. If you can think about it.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, even you jolting around, you'll jerk that
Yeah.
kill switch.
well, even like on my Ranger, it's push button. A lot of times you don't think, and you got to reach down and hit.
you ain't
that-
gonna be thinking about too much when the motor jumps.
No,
up.
Yeah,
no,
you got
no,
to reach
you're
down
gonna
and
get
hit a stop
excited.
button.
You're gonna be excited. You're gonna be excited. And the other thing is look, we got good electronics. I mean, you should always, and I know most people probably do this anyway, but you should constantly be studying your mapping, because it shows on all these lakes around here where the channel is, and just make sure you stay in the middle of these channels.
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
you have a good chip in your depth finder, it's
Yeah.
going to show you.
Yeah.
I mean, they put a lot of time and effort. I
Yeah.
mean, Carson, he works for them. I mean, he's had a little problem here lately. He ain't been working, but that's what his job is. He just was around those lakes and maps the whole entire lake, so you got everything. And then it's accurate. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to really think about that.
Yeah, okay. All right, one of the last things I have is, over the last several months, I got to know Marcos pretty good, that owns Waterwood Baits, and it's one of the most popular crankbaits out today, and it's one of the best that I've ever personally used. It is really, really good quality bait. Unfortunately, where Marcos actually has these baits made is in another country. It's in Brazil. So with COVID, he's having a really hard time on getting these baits through customs and getting delivery. He's like 3 shipments behind. So I know there's a lot of interest. There's a lot of people want to buy Waterwood baits right now, and I know that there's people out here right now that can't get them. And all I say is be patient. It is worth waiting on. It's good quality, but it's coming. They're
He'll get it
coming.
worked out.
Well, he's got word today that I think they're getting ready to release some. So Waterwood crankbaits are coming back. So
But you just got to be patient,
you got to
guys.
be patient. Be patient.
It's
Don't
coming.
get excited.
He's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna get that straightened
They
out.
are.
But right now it's just hard to get. And when something's good, it's hard to get it anyway because
When
people
something's
buy it
good,
up.
that's right. And that's what happened.
That's what. Yeah, exactly.
That's what happened.
People are buying a dozen at a time.
I know. I had friends that were sending me pictures constantly of how many they were buying. I mean, Rick, he bought an inventory and was sold out, 2 days later?
A day
A
later,
day later.
sold
and
every one of them.
And then got another one.
Sold all those out. And
So-
calling Marcos want more, and Marcos is like, I'm waiting on them. So
Yeah.
Rick's waiting on them. A bunch of tackle shops.
I
are waiting on
know.
them, but
So everybody calm
They're
down.
coming.
They're coming. I promise they're coming.
You're probably tired of people calling you. Where's my baits? Where can I get my baits?
Hey, some people come and got my baits.
I mean, I know some of the stores they're dying to get them,
Oh, I
and
know.
they can't get them.
They
I
are.
mean, but
They
you know,
are.
guys, I mean, the crankbait season's not kicked off hard yet. It's getting
It's
ready
coming.
to, and hopefully,
Oh, it's
hopefully
coming.
have some in by then. So
Yep, it's coming.
Well,
This
and
coming-
then with everything going on, like I can tell you with, glitter and supply, I mean, this industry's just been flipped on its head. I mean, very fortunately, like I can somewhat control because we're making them in house and we've
Right.
been lucky with that.
Right.
And our plastic supplier luckily hasn't run out. But I mean, anyone in this industry, man, I mean, with everything that happened earlier this year with COVID, everyone went home and what could they do? They could fish. But the problem was manufacturing, a lot of it shut down. So
That's a
like,
good point.
This
That's a great
industry
point.
had a double pull. You had people that wanted to do more of it, so higher sales
Right.
with less supply.
Right.
And so
That's
that's why you go into big box stores, the shelves are empty.
That's
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
That's
the,
right.
The whole industry, it's not just this crankbait an example, Waterwood, it's this industry has been
It took a
flipping
hit.
over. for
Took
sure.
a hit. It took a hit, no doubt.
I bet his
No doubt.
wife's got a problem with him. You know what I just realized?
What?
I've noticed.
What?
Usually when I see him, he's got glitter in his beard. Have you noticed
It
that?
smells like garlic.
Well, he keeps glitter in his beard.
Well, you know what? That means sales are good.
That means
Sales
sales
are good, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, man.
All right, so you want to do our giveaways?
Are you done?
Well, we'll at the end we'll thank our sponsors, but unless somebody's got something else.
Well, you got any questions? That's the main
Got
thing.
any
Any questions?
No questions.
Okay.
Just a bunch of statements.
Okay.
Somebody did ask if you would do your loop knot again.
Of course I will.
There's a rod,
Get a run.
Yeah.
but that's
I've got probably a better one.
I
No.
don't think Mike's got any rods.
Oh no, he's probably only got 1,000 in here.
And then Zach Sweet, talking about the boat safety, he said that they're making a product called the leash. It's supposed to prevent it from happening.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Oh, what is it now?
The leash.
The
Oh
leash-
yeah.
Is it? Where it
Yeah.
goes around them?
Yeah, and it's like a big cable that attaches to it, so that
There's
It can't flip.
There's
Yeah.
another thing that boat safety too.
You got one?
With this COVID, there's a lot of people buying boats that have never boated before,
You can get a
Yeah.
bait over
and
here somewhere.
the boats are packed with
No,
inexperienced
don't-
boaters now, so that makes
I
it
see,
even more
yeah,
dangerous.
you'll need
How
to
to
do it up
drive
there
it.
anyway, probably. won't you?
Exactly.
Alright, so let's use something before they say good.
Just anything.
Let's use this jig.
Yeah.
a loop knot on the jig. That sounds good.
Well, it don't matter. All we're doing is showing a,
Right here. All right, guys, this is how you do it. Take your line, and you just put a loop in it, just like this. So see, as so, you have a loop. You take the loose end, you put it through your bait, as so. Hold your loop. I even hold it in my thumb like that. Put the line back through the loop like this, and cinch it down tight to the line like this. So now basically you got this. But then what you do is you cinch it down to where you want your loop to be, which would say on top water or something, probably something like that. You see it
so
now?
about maybe a half inch above the eye.
So you just pull it down like this. I'll pinch it off with my thumb like that. And then you just tie it off twice.
Just a regular.
Just a regular, like this. Tie it off twice. Or you can do it one time, but I usually do it twice. I don't think it really matters. I never had one come loose.
Is that the same way you tie yours?
It's similar,
And then
not quite.
You
A little
cannot
bit
break
different.
it. You cannot break that knot.
Huh?
I didn't think so.
So I don't know if could they see what I was doing?
They could once you put it down, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
saying,
soft.
did they miss? I didn't know if I had it down there. But that's what you do. Simple as that.
Hey, if they're in a tournament you're in, you could tie it, Bill.
Probably. They could run me down the lake.
Well, that's what I was gonna suggest.
All right, we're gonna do the giveaway now.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about all the sponsors, and this will give everybody a last minute,
Chance to get in.
chance to
Okay,
get into
okay.
the giveaway.
Okay. Does everybody understand how to do
Make sure you
it?
subscribe to our YouTube channel and you share this live video to all of your friends. Once you do that, comment done.
Okay.
And your name will be entered into the giveaway. So you've got about 3 minutes-ish to get that done.
Okay. Okay, we'll go through the list. Waterwood crankbaits. We just got through talking about them. Really, really quality baits. And they are coming. We've already talked about that. Shane's baits.
Shane's baits, the A-rig's starting to heat up, guys. I hear guys catching them on it already, but
Hey, I know a guy that caught 3 on one cast at Wiley.
but that's the only 3 he had though.
But he caught
But he caught 3. I wish I could have caught 3 on one cast.
Me too. Okay, who else? Bass of the South.
Yep, that's your Ned rig.
Yep,
Yep.
This and
yep,
put your little bait on the Ned rig or the
Yep.
Ned Dizzy.
yep,
And man, that thing's awesome.
Yep.
But anyway, he makes quality. You can get them at Denver Tackle.
yep.
And then-
Azteca. Azteca, Mexican, on Franklin, great place.
When you taking me to Azteca?
Anytime you want to go. I was there the other night.
Monday.
Huh?
Yeah, we went Monday. We went
I had
Monday.
things to do. I'd been out of town, you know.
Sea Right Lemonade, they got them. They got them right
Yeah,
there.
I bet they do.
Azteca.
And then K9 fishing line. That's what I caught all my fish on today, the ones I caught. But
Hey, let me tell you about a real quick story about K9. So
Okay.
that big bass in the big bass tournament, I had switched trailers and the wind had blown my boat up closer to a dock than I wanted
Yeah.
to be. So I turned around and I realized how close I was. I didn't want to hit my trolling motor because I was too close to the pier. I didn't want-
luckily you didn't.
and luckily I did. I pitched a jig under that pier, and fish got it. I set the hook, and I was basically on top of the
How many
fish.
times did it take you to get it under the pier?
Once. And
Really?
it took me once to get it out, too.
Okay, I got you.
I don't throw that little 5-6 pound test crap like you doing. I had 20-pound test fluoro K9.
K9
I didn't hesitate. I hit the fish, brought them beside the boat,
corn piled him.
corn piled him. Exactly.
Strong stuff.
If you got confidence, you don't mind doing that.
I corn piled like a 6.5 at Chickamauga.
6.5 inch or
Pound. Yeah.
Oh, y'all hard on each other. I tell you.
so K9 is a great line. I mean, we said we was going to put it to the test. We said that
We've put it to the test.
and we're putting it to the test. There's no doubt about that. And it's so far,
still
I have to
using it.
say, it's great. It's great. All right, Alcom, we wouldn't be here, and hopefully it hadn't frozen up tonight like it was before Alcom
I think
got here.
I think I got it straightened out.
I hope so. I think he did.
He's kind of related to Jason, ain't he?
He is related to Jason.
Is he as lazy as you are?
No.
He says no.
Oh, I guess
And,
Alan's got a job, don't he?
Yeah.
And there's a young guy that the tech rep there named Gage, and he's come here I don't know how many times, but
About 100.
he's come quite a bit and always does a great job. And I appreciate Alan, and I appreciate.
Is he married?
I think he's got a girlfriend.
Oh, well, I was
who
supposed to
is
say
Denver
maybe
Tackle.
Courtney could be.
Denver Tackle. Denver Tackle. You want to talk about?
Oh, yeah, Denver Tackle, that's a
or-
good-
I'm blocking them.
That's a good place to go get the Biz Baits, Denver Tackle guys, and Shane's Baits. They're actually made at Denver Tackle. So
Yep.
go
Yep.
see Troy. He's just done a lot of stuff to the place. New floors, nice, pretty
I
nice.
saw that.
I
And-
think also up at Rick Reed's place at Megabyte Baits. I don't know for sure yet, guys, but he's planning on having a grand opening or a customer appreciation. He wasn't able to do an official grand opening because he opened right when COVID was hitting. So I'll get a date when he sends it to me. We may try to go up there and help out with
Think
that.
you can get us some more than Buzz Baits.
Maybe so. I'd like to.
Yeah,
But,
that'd be good.
But anyway,
Buzz Baits.
when I talk to Rick, I'll get some more info on that.
That guy
Let you
makes
guys
real
know.
good Buzz Baits.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a pretty sweet deal.
And Courtney's Creations. Courtney does.
Did she finally make mine?
This ain't yours. What are you talking? She made a hoodie, and these are for sale, right, Courtney?
Yes, 30 local, 35 ship.
30 local. If we can get it to you, if we have to ship it, it's 35. But we got Fishing Legends live with our Facebook and YouTube. Got our logo on the front. It's getting chilly. These would be
Thanks,
nice.
Courtney. That's his? Man.
Oh, that one's mine.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, Courtney. She made me one.
She's
You
supposed to
ain't
be
got one.
she's supposed to be making me one.
Well, she will. $35.
Whoa, God.
He's local.
It don't
30.
matter. He ain't that local, Courtney. Charge him 35. Charge him
He's
35.
pretty local. He's here every night.
That's pretty low. That's about the localest. All right, $30.
Thank you. You're so kind.
All right,
All
we're
right.
ready for the giveaway, or we
Yep.
done all
All
the
right,
sponsors?
all right, here we go. I hope I win.
So how many people are you drawing again?
We're drawing 5 numbers, and we got 28 people.
Ooh, that's pretty
Hey,
good
I
odds.
like those odds.
Yeah,
That's
good
pretty
odds,
good. That's pretty good.
We got some new subscribers to YouTube.
We did.
Good.
right.
Well, we're needing YouTube. Please
We're
subscribe to our
at
YouTube.
317 now.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank y'all. That's a nice hoodie, isn't it?
It is. I thought it was mine.
You'll probably take it if I turn my.
Well, yeah, it's probably a small if it's yours.
Well, you put it up. It looked like it was about 2
All
sizes.
right. What's the first person gonna win?
Shane's bait, spinnerbait, double willow
That
leaf.
goes to John Ladd.
John Ladd.
Lad.
John Ladd.
He don't throw a spinner.
John Ladd.
I know what John.
Tell John I'll trade him.
Oh, John gets plenty of the biz
I was gonna
baits
say,
already.
he's got a good supply.
He's got a good supply.
Hey, tell John I'll trade him this for a tap crankbait. How's that?
You can tell him.
Okay. All right. Hey, let's give away some biz baits next.
Yeah. Let's do
All right.
it.
What we gonna do? What we gonna
4 and
give away?
4. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, so the first, let's do a pack of dizzies, pack of Ned dizzies, a baby bug, and a mag dizzy.
All right.
There might be a couple missing after tonight, but
Yeah.
Oh, we can put them.
we'll
back.
try to put
There
them all
might be a
back.
bunch missing if
That's
you leave here too long.
Yeah.
We'll put them all back together.
The pack of 4 biz baits, one of them goes to Zach Sweet.
Zach Sweet. Good job, buddy.
Awesome.
My buddy Zach Sweet. Good.
So these are Zach's.
All right. You get 4 packs, Zach. 4.
So what else we got? Let's see. We need to put this one back in here.
Yeah, I think all these came from somewhere.
Oh, did they?
One of the packs, yeah.
I'm gonna put these in order.
I can get them back in there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I better
Yeah,
let you
you'll
do
do
it.
a better job than
I better
he
let
will.
you do it.
I'll put all the prizes together on the table.
Okay, who gets the other biz baits?
That's it, isn't it?
No,
Jason.
he's getting 4
Two,
and 4.
two winners, 4 and 4.
Gary
4 and
McCall.
All right.
All right, Gary
Awesome.
McCall.
Gary McCall. All right. What's he get? Biz baits?
Yep.
Yep.
The second pack of the
So if we just get
second pack.
addresses, we'll just ship that out tomorrow.
Yep.
Tell him to send you the addresses, Courtney.
Yep. Make sure he's got 48 hours.
Yep.
All the everybody.
Zach has responded.
Okay, good. Perfect. Thank you, Zach.
So
US
we got one something else, right?
We got 2 things.
We got 2 things left.
We got a change
Shane,
umbrella rig.
umbrella rig. This is a mini blade of glory. I like this. I like this short one like that.
Yeah.
You ever used the short one?
Yeah,
They work good. They're good to throw on piers. Did you know that?
all of them good to throw on piers.
What's the next one? The mini blade of glory?
Yeah.
It goes to Tim Scronts.
Tim Trunks. All right.
He probably don't want this. We'll just keep it.
He's a pretty big boy.
Well, no,
Yeah,
we won't let him
he's
have
not
it.
All right, let him have it. Tim gets it.
And then what's
Bass
the
of the South.
That's your Ned rig heads.
and what
Yep,
heads.
5 heads.
Anthony Brooks.
Anthony Brooks. Congratulations, Anthony.
All right.
There you go.
Hand me those
Oh, yeah,
4
here's that
packs. I'll
third
play
one.
him up.
Yep.
That was third, fourth.
That was 5th. Okay, Courtney, they're in order. You see that?
Yeah.
I'm written down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is
Awesome.
there anything else?
Anything else? That it?
Catcher Lures asked me if I can make tags for their company. I can. If you'll go on Facebook, Courtney's Creations, or you can message this page, Fishing Legends Live, and I'll answer whatever questions you may have, and I can send you some examples of some pictures and stuff.
That's probably Jody, right?
Oh,
yeah.
He can get in touch with
Yeah.
either me
Yeah,
or
we'll
Mike
hook you up,
or-
Jody.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Courtney does all kind of stuff. I mean, she can do
Yeah.
coasters, cups, tags, plaques.
The options are
all-
endless.
We could
Endless
trade some of
options.
Courtney's work for some jigs.
Great idea.
Good
Jason.
idea.
Good idea. Great
What
idea.
do you think, Scott?
Okay.
Y'all are shysters is all y'all are. Ain't working for Courtney. She don't want the jigs.
Well, she'd do that for us.
You know, I'm gonna beat you like a dog in cornhole when we get through.
Let's do this.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Like, follow our Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube. It's hard to get YouTube subscribers. Thank you.